Hello, everybody. Welcome. Well, we knew as soon as we saw that Emily was here, our fourth host is here, that we could start. So, welcome. Hello, Emily. Hello, Emily. And thank you, everybody who is coming today, who will be watching this on replay. We're really glad that you're here. Let us know in the comments or in the chat whenever you're watching that you're here, and any thoughts on the books or any questions. But today we are going to be discussing The Realms of the Gods by Tamora Pierce, which is book 4, the final in the Viralidane Sarasri Immortals quartet.
Yes.
And I'm sure I'm mispronouncing her name. But
according to the audiobook, I think you did very well.
Thank you. I always mispronounce the author's name, and I feel bad about it. I'm always like Tamora Pierce, but I think it's just Tamora Pierce. But
yeah,
it is what it is. It's ingrained now since I was like 9 years old, and I first read Tamora Pierce. Now it's it's what it is. So, welcome. So, why don't we get started here? Let me pull up my banners. Sorry. What did you guys think of The Realms of the Gods overall? You can keep it brief to start off. And then about the series as a whole.
I liked this series as a whole much more than I liked the first one. So this was by far better. This one I was loving so much right up until the relationship began. And then I was like,
Isn't that just a theme?
But that's because I'm so not a romance reader.
But that's kind of been the theme with like all of the Tamora Pierce books for us. Is like it was going great, and then there was the romantic element, and
yeah. So, but I still think this was a fantastic book in the series.
Yay! Oh, that's awesome. All right. Are your feelings pretty much same, Victoria, or do you have like any other thoughts you want to share?
I enjoyed it for sure. I feel like this was pretty consistent as a series for me, as far as like from book to book. I kind of enjoyed them all around the same. I did feel like Tamora Pierce does this thing that I see as a pattern with her, where she takes her main characters and puts them in a totally different setting, and that happens again in this book, and that all doesn't always work for me, but I did find this setting interesting to be exploring the realm of the gods and like the deity side of Tortall, because I feel like we learn, like we hear a lot about it, we get glimpses of it, but then we spend just a lot of time in that, and I liked that. Sometimes I wish there was a little more of a balance in her books of like, can we also see what's going on in Tortall other than being told what's going on in Tortall? Like, can we also have a character maybe perspective set there or something? Because sometimes
very far away in this book.
Yeah, right. So sometimes that is a jarring thing with her books for me, but I also enjoyed the journey of this book, so I forgave it that.
Well, good. It seems like mainly positive feelings with a few reservations, so that's really exciting to hear.
What about you?
For me, well, I had rated it initially a little lower And then when I went through my notes, I was like, oh, actually, no, this is still pretty decent. So I ended up landing around an 80%. So book 3 and book 1 are my favorites of this series, but I do really enjoy the romance. So this will be fun to talk about. Emily and I are like, we like the romance, but I do also, as an adult, have some reservations even about the romance. So that's partly why it's a little lower, but I also, I don't know, there was a lot of things that I really loved. So yeah, overall it's like a pretty positive. It felt a little bit rambling and disconnected in this one to me. And maybe it's because of what Victoria was saying. I think it's because it's like a journey plot. And so maybe that's why. But there was just certain things that I loved so much about it that I was like, I don't care. I still really enjoyed it. So, and Emily says this is her favorite series in the tortallan world. Woo! Yeah, I feel like this series is more than the sum of its parts for me. Like, I particularly love books 1 and 3, but like the series as a whole, I just really like. Like I said, I think it's like a 5-star series for me, even though some of the books are like slightly lower than that, you know. So, all right, excellent. So, what did you guys like about book 4 / the series? We can just talk about both. We don't have to just talk about book 4.
I loved getting to spend more time with Badger. And also the mole.
Yes.
I loved him.
Yes.
And I mean, that was one thing that I think that I enjoyed about this book as much, if not more, than the rest of them, is that there are so many different kinds of creatures in this one. And even ones that we think we aren't going to like end up being ones that, because of virality, because of her and her attitude and heart toward them, you end up caring about, you know. And so I just was just one thing after another where I was like, oh, I'm kind of sad to see this world kind of ending. So
yeah, well, we have another 4 books. So
I know, but I'm just talking about her in particular, and
yeah, definitely. How about you, Victoria?
I think if I think of the series overall, I think of just a lot of personality. Like the series has a lot of personality, and like the animals and everything contribute to that. But also just like the different elements that she blends together between the divine and then the mortal as well, and like the divine creatures, and like I saw this series as very colorful. It's very colorful. It has a lot of personality, I guess. And that also it felt so much more middle grade for that reason. Like very, very much appealing to a younger audience.
I feel like Tamora Pierce's heroines really, like you said, this one had such a different personality from the Alana series. It almost feels like a different world. And that's partly because of the Immortals portion. You know, now there's Immortals in Tortal, so it is a totally different world. But you're right in that seeing things through Dane's perspective is really different than seeing them through Alana's perspective. And I think you guys will find the same in the next series too. So she does a really good job of sort of, I never even thought about it like that, but she does a really good job. You know, like Dia said, this was like the animals series, you know. In book 1, there was animals on in Alana's series, there was animals on the covers, but it wasn't really an animal series. Whereas this one is like, she like did a bunch of research, so that she could portray animals in depth, in an interesting way.
Right.
So,
and not just our animals, but like the immortal animals as well. So
yes, I think one of my favorite things about this book was the Skinners.
Really?
Yeah, it was such a strong opening for me. I just was like so riveted by them, how they touch anything and it just skins them, it turns them inside out. That was like really fascinating. It was really funny because I finally actually read one of the wrap-ups because for Christmas I got the last 2 books in the series. So it had her interviews in the back. So I read the interview in the back of this book, and she said, "My husband will never forgive me for inventing the Skinners." I start talking about them, he just covers his ears and goes into another room.
that's funny. I would too.
Yeah, they're pretty dark. They're
They're scary.
a dark, scary creature.
I felt like they introduced the teen element. Like when we read about the Skinners, it was like, okay, this is no longer a middle grade book.
Yeah, they're pretty dark.
Yeah, they are. They're really creepy. And in the next series too, there's a lot of creepy elements too. So that can be a little bit contrasting in a middle, because the next series, the first 2 books feel very middle grade still to me, but there's a lot of creepiness because the Immortals are here now, so we have to deal with it, I guess. So, but okay, what Emily liked: the romance, Dane having to choose between her ma and the world, and choosing the world. Good commentary about grief there, and the final showdown between her and Ozra. That's a good point about that being a commentary on grief. I honestly didn't think about it like that.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Really good point. I know. I was like, man, why are the gods making it so hard on her by not letting her realm hop? Like she could just be a world hopper, but they slammed the door on that. But yeah, that is kind of a commentary on grief. You can't like live in the past. And she has created a life for herself on Earth now. So
I was actually surprised at how difficult it was for her to choose. Just with because it wasn't too much before that she discovers the feelings of reciprocation with Numair. And so when that is brought up and she like has to struggle through that after living the amount of time that she has without her mother, it just I think that kind of surprised me a little bit. I was like, I don't know that it would, maybe it would be if I had lost my mom at a very young age, but I don't know that it would be that difficult for me to make the choice of living on and being able to have a family and have love and that kind of thing. I don't know if it would be that difficult for me, but
yeah, that's a good point. It's like that's kind of like the mature way of looking at it, is we all have a life here on Earth. That's kind of where we belong until our time here ends, and then we move on. But for her, it's like she'd been given a taste of being with her mom again, and so but obviously her mom had also moved on. Her mom is now living with Weirin or whatever his name is. Yeah. And what did you guys think of the final showdown between her and Ozorn?
I liked it. I think I think one of the things that Tamora Pierce doesn't do real well for me is make me like super invested in the wrap up of something. So she didn't do it in the Alana book, and she didn't do it in this one for me. Like I was like, well, it feels awfully easy. You know, it doesn't feel like this was really as difficult as it was being made out to be the entire way through the book. Because when it came down to it, it was just like this and this and this done.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I do feel like the final like end battle scene type of things are pretty quick generally with her books. I guess because also like I didn't expect her to not defeat the Emperor.
Right.
Like I was like, obviously she's gonna defeat him. So maybe there's an element of like not being invested too, because I'm like, I know that's gonna happen.
Right. I did appreciate the way that that Tamora Pierce brought the other creatures into it, and the way that like kindness from Dane switched what are the little creatures that
Darkings.
Yes, the Darkings.
Oh yeah.
switched their allegiance, just simply by slipping them a little piece of food and not letting people beat up on them or trap them or those kinds of things. So
Dane makes friends very easily in this series. That is one thing I noticed, and it does make it feel a little more middle grade how easy it is for Dane to like make people switch sides, and like gain help from animals and creatures and things like that. So it's like everybody's just waiting to be invited by Dane to join her side, So, but the Darkings are my like unequivocally my favorite thing about this book. So
I absolutely love them, all of them.
Yes. That was the thing about the final showdown that really got me, was when 2 of the Darkings were killed. It was like, no! I could feel myself tearing up. It was that part was hard. She always has a moment like that for me in the end. There's like an animal death or something like that where it's like
right? The Stormwing
Rakosh.
Yeah, Rakosh. And just the fact that she felt that she felt so devastated by his death, and that she didn't realize how she had come to care about him. I thought that was really special too, because she is so not a fan of his at the beginning of this series.
She overcame her repugnance.
Well,
I was actually surprised. I was surprised that the Stormwings weren't evil the whole time, because the way they were introduced in the beginning of the series, I was like, okay, obviously this is a villain kind of creature, So I was surprised at that twist with them in general.
Well, and then they were brought, Rakosh and a few of them were brought over to Dane's side of things because of the kindness of someone else.
Sandro! Hi. Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
No, I was just saying because, and then she began to change her mind because of the kindness of someone else also. So towards Rakosh,
Yes. And by the end, she's like speaking up for him before the gods. Like, no, the Stormwings need to be here. Like, she now believes in the reason for their
Mhm.
existence. She's like,
Mhm.
yes, they should be here. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
So
All right. Let's see here. Emily says, I also liked seeing Faithful and Dane meeting her. Wait, and not knowing it was Alana's cat. Wait, what?
yeah, you didn't realize that?
Is that Queen Claw?
No, it's Faithful.
Who? Wait, who? What cat?
Faithful was Alana's cat, and
Yeah,
Dane
yeah.
meets her in the realm, in
She
the realm
does?
of the gods. Yeah.
What?
Well, it doesn't
I didn't
say
know that at all.
Faithful when she meets her. I don't think. I think it was just that she met a cat with purple eyes.
Oh,
Hmm.
I totally missed that, which is weird because I was reading with my eyes. All I remember is Queen Claw, which Queen Claw was really fun. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I didn't
No, this
remember.
was when she actually met Alana's cat in the realm of the gods.
What? I totally missed that. That's great. Okay, wow. Yeah, I definitely didn't pick up on that. So thank you for pointing that out, guys. Wow.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm excited that it was my first time through it. And I
and
thought,
you noticed.
yeah.
That's pretty impressive. Oh, I'll have to ask Victoria. Victoria, did you notice the cat with purple eyes that Dane meets in the Realms of the Gods?
I missed it.
I did too.
I missed it. I know I saw her comment and I was like, oh, I totally missed that. But I was audiobooking it, so I missed lots of things on audio.
Okay. Oh, well, then I feel better. Although I have read it a gazillion times and I never noticed that, so that's crazy. Wow. Okay, so Emily thinks the next series is the most middle grade, which
Okay.
I definitely think the first two books are like super, super middle grade. They're like super short and the main character stays young. I think she's like 10 in the first book and 11 through 14 or something in the second book. So she does stay young. But starting in book 3, it starts feeling more YA to me. So we'll see what you guys think of it. But it's definitely, there's not any, well, yeah, no. Anyway, I think it stays YA. But the last book feels dark, definitely YA, like no question about it in my mind. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Emily. The holidays is hard when you're missing somebody who's passed.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think a lot about Jen because Jen's birthday is December 10th, and then there's Thanksgiving before that, and then Christmas after, and then there's her death date, like January 2nd, I think it is. So it's a really hard season for sure.
Yeah. My dad passed away at Thanksgiving, and James's mom passed away last December. So it's definitely a season where grief is at the forefront. But
well, thank you for bringing that element to the discussion, Emily.
yeah,
That's a good point. Yeah, there was things that they should have had that they missed out on because of how her mom was taken. So
yeah, I think like earlier Alana, if like the Alana we met, or not Alana, not
Dane.
not Alana, Dane. Earlier Dane from book 1 probably would have made a different choice.
Oh yeah, because there was no indication that she and Numair were gonna fall in love or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, I did not like Dane's mom in the first book. I was angry at her in so many ways. I'm like, who are you to, put this on your child that she is less than for not having the kind of magic you want her to have? And you know, and just all these other things. It seemed almost, even though Dane loved her, it felt almost, what do you call it when codependent? It felt almost like she was codependent because, you know, it felt like just the wrong kind of love, basically, because she felt almost abused in some emotionally abused in some ways, with especially with how reticent she was when she first met up with the horses and the, you know, the riders and all of that. She was just like, I can do nothing. You know, I do have a gift with animals, but I don't know what that means, and that doesn't, you know, make me any better than anyone else. In fact, it's something I try to keep quiet, and you know, so if for me, it just kind of felt like her mother wasn't somebody that she would want to spend time with. And of course, we see that changing, you know, a little bit through the books, but I just didn't. Uh, I guess that was another reason why I didn't think that it was that hard of a decision when she was choosing.
I always took it as like Dane being afraid of going mad, and that's why she was like so hesitant to use her magic or even acknowledge that she had it. But you're right that her mom, she kept doing tests, and clearly her mom didn't understand it, which I'm like, she's the child of a god. How do you not understand what's going on here? But clearly wild magic was not a part of her mom's learning or vocabulary. So I think that misunderstanding, it didn't set Dane up for success, to put it mildly. But yeah, obviously she still loves her mom, because even kids who are abused, they still love their moms.
Right, exactly. It just felt like the wrong kind of love, like I said. So
codependency, interesting.
Yeah, I think the mom is so different from Dane, like just in personality and like I don't know, mentality in general. Like moms and daughters can be different, but I feel like that was also like, as like we grow to really like Dane as a character, and I think there's like her mom was so much different than her. It was hard to connect with that character for me too. Like I didn't really feel like I could like connect with the mom as a character.
Her mom kind of upset me too, but for a different reason, actually. We could even talk about that under what was unsuccessful. But part of what was unsuccessful for me is that we don't see Dane's, I guess, perception of marriage kind of heal and improve. Like she doesn't see marriage as like a good, healthy thing. And I think that's largely due to her mom. Having boyfriends, not telling her who her father was, and Dane having that instability and not seeing healthy marriages around her. Like clearly in Snowsdale, there was a lot of bad marriages. And Dane says something, I have the quote here. Dane says, I know a life sentence when I see one. And I was like, if that's how you feel about marriage, you're probably not thinking about marrying the right person. You know, it shouldn't feel like, oh, life sentence. It should be like, yay, I get to spend my life with this person, you know? And we don't see Dane healing from that at the end. Like with Alana, it's like, I was really happy with how it ended. It was like, but maybe maybe Tamora Pierce just didn't want to do the same thing twice, where it's like, oh, happy ever ending and the girl gets married, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe she just didn't want to do that. But I'm hoping maybe that was more of like adult Christie's take on the situation. When I was younger, I just assumed, oh yeah, of course they're gonna get married. I think that was my assessment when I was young. But now, as an older reader, I'm seeing like less and less commitment as the series go on. And so that's a little bit of a trend that I didn't like as much in this one. And it's all started with Dane's mom, in my opinion. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, or if there's something else that wasn't successful.
No, I agree with you. I think yeah, I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh.
There was something though. I'll think of it. It'll come back around.
Yes.
But yeah, the whole thing with marriage is pretty consistent with Tamora Pierce's heroines. It seems like she doesn't. George's mom, not married.
True.
Alana's mom, dead and not in a good marriage. And then not wanting to marry the king because of him being the king, but still wanting to have a relationship with him. And, and then just, I mean, different ones. It just was like, I'm blown away by the fact that she seems to have a good marriage. Tamora Pierce seems to have a good marriage. I mean, if she's telling her husband about the books and he's like, no, running into the next room. She seems to have a good marriage. It just kind of makes me wonder why she wanted to portray these females as only strong if they weren't married.
Yeah.
But I do remember. The other thing I was going to say was, I think Dane at the end, even at the end of Realm of the Gods, is still pretty young, right?
Yeah. She's like
not,
16.
Yeah. So it makes sense that you wouldn't want to get married yet.
Yeah.
And she does say, maybe one day. Not to mention the fact that how old is Numair?
30.
So double her age, And so it makes sense that he would want to get married. But I think that it's probably wisdom on her part to say, let's let this be us during a time of peace and see where this goes and how we do, and to let the relationship breathe a little bit, not be in this intense, we've got to survive kind of mode. So there's that side too.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on that, Victoria?
Yeah, I think it's easy to forget how young 16 is. And just not being a good time of your life to commit to a marriage with someone. So, I can definitely understand the choice.
She seems a bit older than 16 to me. I think women were married younger then and they grew up faster. And she does seem to be pretty much acting as an adult at this point in her life. So to me, she definitely seems like an adult in this, even though she's only 16. But today's 16-year-old.
It's hard to tell with books too. Like I often forget characters' ages in books.
Yeah.
I think too, though, because she's an orphan, because she's had to make it on her own, because she's, was immediately flung into battles and war and discovering her magic and all of that, she had to grow up pretty fast. So I think that was probably part of it too, is that she does seem older, but you've got to remember she's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me feel a little better about it. Thank you, Dia. There's time yet.
I think Emily is correct about probably Pierce's motives there with responding to the time that she was writing in as well.
Good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I think, yeah, a lot of the older sci-fi and fantasy women's arcs are not very interesting. So she's making it interesting, you know.
They're there only for one purpose usually. And it's not good.
Yeah. It's not really what a female reader would write. So, but yeah, I think you're right. She has some trauma, and since she is only 16, there's time to unpack that. You know? So I'm going backwards now because I think there's a lot I've missed from Emily here. Yeah, exactly. I think that's why she was hesitant to use her magic. She was hunted down by people in her area when she was young. Yeah, the cats there, that did blow my eyes. blow my mind, not blow my eyes. That did blow my eyes.
I remember that being mentioned like at the end of when we were reading the Four of Alana. I remember that being mentioned, that Faithful makes an appearance again. But I did not catch it when it happened, apparently.
And when she said that at the end of the Alana series, I was like, really? I don't remember ever seeing. I think there is another series, the Trickster's Choice series, where I think that's where I remember maybe Faithful. But maybe it's that one, but anyway.
Well, Faithful's still around in this one. It's just a brief little blip, but it's there.
She really brings characters back around, like a lot. It's kind of fun.
She does that.
A lot more than I remembered, honestly. So,
okay. Although I will say, Alana completely disappeared in this one. Alana was barely ever on page in this last book.
You're right. That's a good point. Yeah, we saw Fayette like once. I don't know.
I think we saw her more than once. But yeah, because before they go to the realm of the gods and then after they're with her. But But you know, Alana, I mean, she's barely ever even mentioned. You're just kind of wondering, okay, but where is she during this battle? What's she doing?
I knew Onua was brought back though. I was like, yay!
Hi, yes.
That was fun. And Raoul has made several appearances as well in this series, which has been fun. And Burry, I think. Yeah, I think so. There's been lots of name dropping. She's moving in high circles. Was there anything else unsuccessful that you guys wanted to mention?
There were a couple of things that, I mean, it's nitpicky, but like when they're taken to the realm of the gods, it's like this instantaneous thing, right? But when they want to leave, they have to go on an entire journey and, you know, and go across this place that nobody really can get across and that's like super dangerous and you know, I just didn't think that was a very good choice, at least not without some better explanation as to why it was impossible. Yeah, and so there was that that was difficult, and then there was something. Emily mentioned something, and I thought about something else when I was back here. I'll have to scroll back and see if I can figure it out, but I'll let somebody else talk. Let's see if anything else was unsuccessful for you guys.
Okay, how about you, Victoria?
Yeah, I think I entirely agree with Dia. And I felt like there was a whole like chaos realms too, and I felt like it was kind of like convoluted. It was at least on audio because I listened to it only. I didn't read any physically, so it was. I was like, wait, what is this situation? And it was kind of hard to understand, like, how all like the chaos realms related to the realm of the gods. And I was just sometimes kind of like, I don't really understand what's like happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just felt like there were plot holes at different parts, but I felt like that in Alana as well. I mean, in the quote unquote immortals that they meet, you know, in the ruined city, and the fact that they don't have the you know, they overcome them so easily after all these thousands of years. They've been there and causing havoc and whatnot. And and then we never hear about them or see them again. And
Yeah.
and then in this one, just with the chaos fence and not quite understanding how that whole thing works within the realm of the gods, and how the immortals were let into the mortal realm, and if
Right.
if the gods can banish those immortals back to the, you know, other realms, then why didn't they just do that to begin with instead of having all this war and everything happening as a result? Why didn't they just banish him back there to begin with instead of waiting until the war is over and saying, we're going to pull all these guys back in here and you're not going to have to worry about them anymore? So,
Yeah, they that it was a bit Deus ex machina, I think is how you pronounce it. At the end, it was like, oh, suddenly Dane is pulled into the realm of the gods, and they're all discussing how they can, I mean, keep Usoe in check, you know? And I was like, oh, well, if you could have done that from the beginning, why didn't you just do that, you know?
uh-huh.
Yeah, so I agree with you guys about that.
It's very Greek mythology, the way she deals with the gods in
Yeah.
the world, and like, yeah, like the almost the gods like creating more chaos and then solving problems. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of a Greek mythology thing
And
too.
everybody being like, oh, those are all human issues, you know? Even the
Mhm.
dragons, you know, humans in their wars. And it's like,
Right.
yeah, the immortals are not humans, though. But yeah, Ozorn is, it's Ozorn's fault. It really is Ozorn's fault. But even he's an immortal now. He's not a human anymore. So
Mhm.
every time they're like, human wars, I'm like,
Not
but it's
anymore.
literally not the humans.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
immortals that are causing the war. So
Yeah.
yeah, very interesting.
I did like the fact that the dragons, especially, this was noticeable, where they kind of came to an acceptance of um, humanity, and you could almost see like this new generation with Kit being more accepting, more inclusive, uh, dragon kind. You know, you could almost see that that's the future for dragon kind is who Kit is. You know, and the
Yeah,
fact that she has this relationship with a human.
it kind of
So,
gives you hope for humans' interactions with the immortals in the future. It's like,
mhm,
oh, okay, it can work. Cool.
mhm, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Um, let's see. Why don't we talk about, let's go deep here. So the duck mole said, yes, the duck mole. I had totally forgotten about him, but
Oh,
I loved him as well. He was a really fun entry into the series. So the duck mole says that the three sorrows, malady, slaughter, and starvation, cause great changes, many for the good. what did you guys make of that statement? Because that, along with, oh, humans and their wars, and also there was a lot of things that did feel very separate from a human way of thinking. Like, that's definitely something a god would say, probably not what a human would say. Yeah, lots of great things come from malady, slaughter, and starvation. You know? But what did you guys make of that statement?
Maybe that, like, there has to be an end of things for things to, like, change or grow and, like, rebirth, kind of like the circle of life kind of thing. Like, things some things have to die, and then it leads to changes. Something like that.
Yeah, that's similar vein. I would have thought that it was like oftentimes when humanity witnesses other humanity going through something extreme, the mercy and the grace and the compassion side of those of that humanity comes out, and we are able to make some great changes as a result of what we are experiencing due to these things happening. But oftentimes, I think, just like with like alcoholics, when they have to hit rock bottom before they can come back, I think a lot of times that's what it takes for humanity to really have empathy. So, but we also have to be made aware of those things in order to have empathy. I think a lot of times those things happen without anybody knowing about them. And if it's unknown, then it's not going to make any real big changes.
Yeah, there has to be an evil to fight in order to show courage and bravery. There has to be somebody who needs saving in order for heroic acts to take place, you know. And I think I have heard that technology usually leaps forward at really drastic rates during a war versus in peacetime, you know. Everybody's just sitting back fat and happy, you know. So people do press and go without when the necessity arises. And people often do mature during suffering more so than when they're just happy and content, you know. So maybe that's kind of what he has in view. What did you guys think of the three sorrows in general? Did that impact you guys at all, like the imagery or anything like that? Like
I would have called him something much more intense than sorrows. I think those things are devastating. Those aren't just sorrowful to me.
The three devastations.
Devastations.
Yeah. It's the four horsemen of the apocalypse kind of thing. It feels, apocalyptic. It doesn't feel just sad, which is what, it's not.
Sorrow is not a strong enough word.
Exactly.
I really, the imagery really did strike me, like seeing the duck mole stinging whichever one he was attacking, and then it like freezes, it's like stunned by his magic, and then the hyena gnawing on the towers, that kind of stuff. It really is very eerie, very otherworldly feeling. So
I agree.
Yeah, apocalyptic is that. I think that's a good word too.
Yes, apocalyptic. Oh, good point, Emily. The Renaissance started shortly after the Black Plague.
Yes, it did.
And this is why God does, of course, discipline humanity, because sometimes we need that in order to progress. So, and I do notice when people criticize me, that's when I think really hard about my presuppositions and biases and stuff like that. So sometimes it takes the whip to keep moving. um, well, let's see. I feel like we've covered a lot of ground. Is there anything else that you guys really wanted to talk about?
Can't think of anything.
Okay. Let's see. There was one other cool thing about the realms. We talked a little bit about the settings already, but there was a moment where who said this? It was said, I think it was Dane's mom. She said, "Here you eat the essence of things, not the shadow of things." So, like on Earth, we eat the shadow of things, and it really reminded me of C.S. Lewis's concept. In The Last Battle. That's what it reminded me of. And I think that the form theory, I don't know if that's Aristotle or Plato or who that is, but I thought that was cool. And
I guess maybe. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I was going to change the subject.
Oh, I was gonna say. I think maybe we'll ask you about the Dragon Realms. A criticism I have is that it felt like too small of a part. Like
Right.
and the time we spent in the Dragon Realms, and I feel like the dragon has as Kit being her kind of companion animal. I felt like we spent such a little time with the Dragon Realm. Once we arrived, it was kind of fast. Again, very fast endings.
Right.
Exactly. It was like dragon meat and go.
Yeah.
I found myself thinking about, I don't know if you guys have read Aragon or not, but there were several times when I was listening to the dragons and and Dane and things that I was thinking about the way that, not just Aragon, but the way that other dragon realms are interactive with humanity and such. And just wondering, like obviously within dragonkind, there are multiple different races, just like there are with humanity. There's so many, and you can see that there are certain races of dragon that seem to be more proud and more hostile than others, and I wish that there would have been a little bit more building and uncovering of some of those things, because it would have been so much fun.
You're like, 5th book in the Dragon Realms, please.
Yeah, it just felt like kind of a flash in the pan.
Yeah, this book definitely, it spent most of the book in the realms of the gods. That's mainly, it wasn't really in tortallan. We just barely hit the Dragon Realms. So that was partly why I don't know, the setting was like, there were some things about the setting that really felt right to me, like the fact that you can see the state of the cosmic battle like in the sky, and you can spy on the mortal realm in mirrors, and there's some details that made it really dreamy and other. So and then the first bridge, the first, I don't know, frog of a certain kind, those kind of things. So I thought it's like theory. It's like the form theory, and Brandon Sanderson interacts with that same form theory very much in his works as well. So she definitely, like Victoria said, drew from some like classical kind of influences. But ultimately, actually, the god this the situation of the gods being like chaos and whatever, peace, harmony, that kind of battle of chaos, that seemed like very Eastern to me, and it felt kind of derivative and formless a little bit to me. So I was actually a little disappointed by the sort of godly world building, myth making kind of element.
I also have found it really odd that, as did Dane, that like her father would go hunting, and then the animal would immediately come back to life, but he would still get to eat whatever it was that he killed.
Yeah.
And the fish would splash you or whatever. Yeah.
Just like, okay. I guess that's one way to get over killing animals, but
yeah, Dane has had quite a transformation on that, which has been interesting to watch. I feel like I feel like Tamora Pierce's characters change with her. When she has a revelation, her work kind of reflects that. Like in the Alana series, you know, our main romantic hero is a thief. Well, this series starts off with these thieves ruined my lives. You know, they took everything from me because Dane was it was her raiders came and killed her family. It was like quite a transformation. Well, at the beginning of the series, Dane had a very healthy, you know, well, I'm a hunter animal, basically. I have to eat prey. You know, I have to survive. But whereas by the end, she's like, yeah, I can't really eat very many meat things anymore. So I feel like, and possibly also the view of like marriage seems like it transforms over the course of the series as well. So there's some transformations, I think, as the author grows. her work is sort of growing ideologically with her. So it seems to me. Let's see. Hey, Rich is here.
Hi, Rich.
Welcome.
Wow. Hello.
All right. So why don't we just end off with, which was your favorite book out of this quartet?
I think book one was my favorite. I just really loved seeing Dane kind of coming into her own and finding family, you know, outside of blood relatives, and finding that she was somebody that could be cared about, that could be you know, liked for just who she was, whether she had magic or not. That she still had an important role to play, even if it wasn't the kind of magic that her mother would have liked for her to have. And I just really, really liked book one, I think.
It was such a strong start and a strong
It
entry in general. Yeah, I totally agree. How about you, Victoria?
Yeah, I agree too. That was the only book one was the only one that I on Goodreads I gave it 5 stars. All the other ones I gave 4. So I guess book one made an impression on me. But I think if I were to order them, it would probably be like 1, then 3, then 4, then 2. I don't remember 2 that well. Did not stick with me.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would probably agree with that. That'd probably be the way that I'd rank them too.
I thought you liked 2 a lot, Dia. I thought that one was going to be like the highest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think 1 because everything is brand new to her, and I love that sense of discovery, and I love not only the discovery being okay with her magic, and things, but also this discovery of being somebody likable, finding the kindness of others, being able to trust, just doing that, all those senses of discovery, I think. Yeah. I think that's the reason why.
Which is also funny. I also gave book 1 of Alana a higher rating than any of the others. So
Yeah.
maybe Tamora Pierce does book 1 pretty well.
Yeah, the initial.
Yeah, she does that pretty well.
Although I really did like book 4 of the Alana series. I think that was my second favorite out of the Alana books. So she did better, I think, with that series closer than I think she did with this one. In my opinion.
I agree.
Even though, like you both said, it was wrapped up very quickly at the end in both cases. The action, clearly the action is not her main focus.
Yeah.
It's more about interpersonal relations and world development and things like that. But
I know Christy. I know, Christy, that you like Numair as like a lot. But I found Numair to just be very forgettable as a personality. I don't know. I just
the nerdy guy, not your thing.
Well, I mean, I think maybe it was just how he was written. I don't know.
I really like him, but I think I like him because Dane likes him. I'm not sure that I like him for his own merits.
Yeah.
I think as I was reading,
Emily.
I know. I'm sorry. I've just offended half of the hosts.
I know. We love him. I feel like he brings the humor and the nerdiness, and he's just so wholesome.
Yeah.
He's just such a sweetheart, and he's so, how do you put it? It's like very head in the clouds.
Vanilla. He's too vanilla for me.
I think you're right, though, that he's not on the page as much as I was thinking that he would be. I thought he would be there more than he was. So as I was rereading it, I was like, I thought there was more. So apparently I really attached to him as a kid.
even when she was like healing initially and like getting out and going for walks and doing that kind of thing, we spent more time with the duck mole than we did with the duck mole was with Dane more than Numair was. And there wasn't really any reason for Numair not to be there, but for some reason he wasn't. And so I think it was just her choices. For some reason he just wasn't there as much.
I still find George to be the most interesting male character as far as like love interests. Like on the page, I found George to be more interesting to follow than I found Numair.
That is fascinating. He's like my least favorite.
Really?
I really like George.
Wow.
I don't know about love interest wise, so I found him to be an absolutely fascinating character, though.
Like
the fact that he was this
fun to read for me.
Yeah, he was this thief, but he had this kind side to him, and he was definitely in competition with others.
Yes,
but at the same time, he was also willing to wait and to hold off and to not push, I guess is one way to say it. But so I really liked a lot of things about George. And I do like Numair, like I said, but I do think it's partly because of the fact that Dane and all of the others like Numair.
It's not like I don't dislike Numair. I just forgot about him as a character. Like, he's easier.
Yeah.
Wow, that is fascinating. I honestly didn't know anybody else who really loved Numair though, other than Emily. Emily's the only one that I know that is like, yes, Numair, like best. So I think that's a pretty common opinion. Jen was a huge fan of George growing up. My other friend who I read these with, she was a huge fan of George. I was always just like, but he's a thief. I couldn't really get into George. Whereas Numair is like, I don't know, the nerdy academic. So I was more into that.
Yeah, I don't think that I would want either of them as a boyfriend.
Wow.
Neither of them, I don't think.
Wow. I was always
I might want Numair if I could get to know him more.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, we didn't even talk about the scene, the kiss. We didn't talk about the kiss scene. But yeah, that was really sweet. He seems so innocent, even though he's not. It's like, you're cute.
He's definitely been with other women.
Yeah, but he clearly views Dane as something more special.
What does he call her? Magelet?
Magelet, yes.
Even the fact that he calls her something that's so cutesy gives me the impression that he knows she's young.
Yeah.
So,
he was trying to hold off. You can tell that he's still not sure this is the right decision, kind of a thing. He's like, she's still too young. But yeah, she has her own opinion about that. So yeah, that
was Tempest and Slaughter.
That is the first book in Numair's series, but I think it's the only book that's been published, and the other one has been like for years. The publishing date keeps getting pushed off.
Oh, a little Patrick Rothfuss.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. I've been like waiting for like 5 years for the next book.
Oh, not quite a Rothfuss then.
Well, I was waiting for Tempest and Slaughter for about 5 years too, because that one also I think there was a car accident that she was in, and after that she stopped publishing. She was publishing like a book a year for a long time, and then not anymore. So
got it.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly. He also is like, marry me, but wait till you're ready. I don't want to end up in a divorce. So he knows how special she is. I think that's a huge reason why I love Numaris. He values Dane so much. It's like she's the only person who exists for him almost, So I love that about him. But he isn't on the page as much as I remembered. So I totally understand that. He shows up in the next series though. So I think some of there's some more series moments in the next series with him that are super memorable to me. So that might make a difference too. All right. Anything else that you guys want to talk about before we should talk about our next live stream date. I just closed down my document. Darn it. Anything else while I look up the date?
I think we say February 7th?
Yeah.
Saturday.
February 7th, 10:15 a.m. probably. I think that's what we're gonna do. And that will be for first test, which is over on my shelf. I forgot to grab it, but first test. So pumped. Thank you guys. Thank you, Emily, for coming. And
yes, Emily.
Thanks to all three of my co-hosts for being here. I really appreciate
yes.
She's
like, yes. I just noticed.
My hair.
It's super cute.
We love it. We love it.
Very cute.
I did. I got it chopped. Very short. So thank you. So we'll see you all February 7th. And thank you again for coming. Thank you. Bye.